Hi, my name is Danny Fleming of MA Properties. Today we're going to talk about advanced selling strategies and the smart decisions component of that. So what do I mean about the smart decisions component of that? What I mean is there are 5 key components that are the building blocks to maximize sales price when you're selling your home. Number 1 is smart decisions. That's today. That's what we're going to do now. Number 2 is preparation. Number 3 is staging. Number 4 is marketing. And number 5 is excellence through teamwork. Now, today's is on smart decisions. You can find the videos for each of the other components on our website under Sellers Masterclass. So what I'm going to do now is show you the agenda of smart decisions and the agenda of all of those other 4 components. And if anything intrigues you, you can go and check out the video at your own time. So, smart decisions. We're going to cover market updates, where you get the information from, and predictions. There's info on all of this. Market analysis. Why is this important? It's really important. Seasonality. Why is this important? It's really important. Timing a buy and a sell. You need to know that. Pricing strategy and waiting for offers. And the perennial question that we get in a lot of towns in this area is your home a tear down? And we'll go over, what that involves and whether it's a tear down or not. The second one is preparation. You can find, as I mentioned, you can find this in our Sellers Masterclass video library. Why is it important? What are the high return on investment cosmetic projects that you can do around your home? We'll talk about, we'll show some before and afters photos there. We'll show you some case studies. We'll talk about project management and how we have someone who can project manage the work being done around your home for you. And we'll talk about financing. And financing is, if a seller wants, we pay for the work to be done and then we just get reimbursed at closing, because it's so important to preparation is really, really important. You'll need to watch the video. The next one, number 3, is staging. Why, who, what, and case studies. That's probably not giving you a good understanding of what's in the staging presentation, but it's important. Then we go into marketing. That's number 4. Does marketing matter in some markets? Yes. Listing dashboard shows you how you know what's going on with your home when it's on the market, what the key components are and how important they are. Really important. Pocket listings, bad. And the importance of MLS. Yeah, it's really important. Check out that video for covering all of those things. And then excellence through teamwork. What do we mean by this? Why is it important? It really is. And we talk about the specialists in each area, who and what role they do, and some feedback. So let's get into smart decisions right now. Because it's easy to get information and data today, but it's a lot harder to make sense of it and to use it to your advantage. It's hard to see who's doing a good job when much of the work is unseen as well. So we're going to take you a dive deep with some of this stuff. Again, this is the agenda. We covered that just a minute ago. Now, market updates. You might be watching this in 12 months' time. So me telling you where we are today is going to have very little value. But I'm going to show you where you can find regular video market updates, where you can find them on the website. And we have two towns that we regularly do video market updates on, but we have about 50 towns where you can get information on. So let me just go and show you. Okay, so first off, let's go down to where the video library is. Video library, you can see you've got market updates, you've got a whole lot of other stuff here, but market updates, and this is where you can find information about Lexington and also Arlington. They're videos that are done periodically through the year that get you up to date with what's going on. Now, the other place that you can go for finding out what's going on in the town is real estate statistics. We have a huge amount of information here. We have our own data warehouse, and you can find all sorts of stuff. As I say, for about 50 different towns. For instance, if I went into inventory levels and I wanted to see what towns we have that information for, you can see all of those. Now, if I go to Lexington and I submit it, here's where we are with inventory levels, and we explain a little bit about what's going on there. But it's not just that. There's sales price distribution. Maybe you're coming from out of town and you have no idea what town would work for you. Well, this will tell you what the sales price distribution is in various towns. Price per square foot, sold to list price ratio, yearly total sales, median home prices, average home price trends, average home prices, town market activity. This helps you work out when homes typically get listed in the town, or when they go under agreement, or when they sell. Town comparison. Let's say you've got 4 towns that you're thinking about and you're just not really sure which one might work. Or if you just want to look at all the data that we've got for Woburn. Selecting Woburn will show you all of the data for Woburn. The sold to list price distribution. This will show you how many times in a town, for the last year, what the sales price to list price distribution was. Like, you might have 60% of the homes in the town sold for over asking price and 40% sold for below asking price. Different things like this. A rental long-term analysis, a rental short-term analysis. Cumulative sales, where are we with sales right now compared to where it was last year or the year before? What are the property tax rates? What's happening with mortgage interest rates, which is a key one right now. Past sales, new construction. Past sales, a lot of folks don't realize that we have this information here. So, for instance, if I wanted to do Arlington and I wanted to look at single families and I want to do a time range of the last 2 months and a price range, I want to see what's sold between 800 to 1.2, it shows me on a map. The green ones are under agreements, the blues are sold, and that's great, but go a little bit further down and here's the really valuable information. Well, I think it's all valuable, but here's, wow, is, for instance, how often are the homes selling for over asking price? This is $795, sold for $801, $759, $825. You can get a good understanding of what's happening in a town before you've even set foot in the state. But anyway, look, that's the information that we have, and the information that's there is on our website. So that's where you can go. So I'm going to go back to, that's where we are. Now the next one, market analysis. Wow. This is a critical component to getting the highest price. Why? Why is a market analysis critical to getting the highest price? If you overprice the home, you will get far below market value if you overprice it. And I've got some examples coming up. But getting an analytical and a comprehensive one using up-to-the-date market statistics gives you data. It shouldn't just be an agent printing out some MLS listings and saying, yeah, no, you'll sell for more than that one. Yeah, you'll sell for more than this. Yeah, I think you should be around this price. No. That's not a comprehensive and analytical market analysis. We'll give you the data, but we're not going to tell you what you want to hear. The right thing to do is tell you what's actually happening in the market and what we believe, using our experience, your home will sell for. We'll give you a market value range, but it's not necessarily what you want to hear. It's important to know the living area of a home, the number of beds and baths, the garage, how many garages, if there's a garage, what the condition of a home is like, and location. They all play a large factor, so they all have to be considered in the market analysis. What a lot of folks don't realize is that the living area, if you take just that one little component by itself, it makes a huge difference. I often hear people saying, well, the house down the street sold for X, so I think my home would sell for about that too. We're on the same street. Well, yeah, but that home down the road was 500 square feet larger, and let's say there's just for the math being easier, there's $500 a square foot is the average in the town. A 500 square foot difference, $500 per square foot, that could be anywhere up to about $250,000 difference in the sale price between homes. So before you even consider the condition and the number of beds and baths and the garages and all of those. So an analytical market analysis is vital because it's got to have an objective comparison between comparable homes and yours. Our aim is to have you understand the market just as much as we do with your home and how the pricing of it's going to be. We'll give you a market value range. We'll give you a recommendation, but we'll also provide a sales proposal. Really critical. Seasonality is also really, really important. There are really good times to sell and not so great times to sell. So if you have the time to plan, choose to come on the market at a really good time. Because there are different things that we need to take into consideration when bringing your home on the market at a certain time of the year. Let's say you're planning on coming on the market in early spring, which, just as a hint, is a really good time. And we'll show you this in a minute. And my lights are going off. I'll be back, just one sec. Technical difficulties. Our lights are on a timer, and I just started seeing them go down. I'm thinking, oh. Okay, so let's get back to this. If you're planning on coming on the market in early spring, there might still be snow on the ground. And I know that sort of sounds counterintuitive, but I will explain this in the next slide. So we want to get photos of the exterior the season before or the fall before, because every other home that comes on the market early spring where there's snow on the ground is going to have drab, dreary snow photos. If you come on the market at the same time and we've got nice fall photos and green grass, not winter burnt grass and things, your home's going to pop straight away. And that's important. So if we can get those done, that's fantastic. But you also need to factor in your needs for a replacement home. If you don't have a home to move to, and you need to buy a home, well, you don't want to come on the market in November because there's not many homes come on the market in winter, and so you're going to be having a tough time trying to find a home to buy. So we've got to factor in those needs as well. But let's talk a little bit more about this in detail. So typically this shaded pink area here is showing the spring market, spring/summer market. And this one is showing the fall market. Now, if we had to describe the different peaks and different times when to come on the market, trying to time coming on the market when there's high demand and low supply is a pretty good time to come on the market. And we do have a seasonality video in our Selling Essentials, which goes into detail about this. But typically the first part of the spring market is a very good time to come on the market. Once we start getting into, and part of that is because over the winter is when buyers are thinking, we're going to buy this year, we're going to buy this year, we're going to buy this year, let's move and move the kids during summer. So there's not many homes on the market, but we've got high demand. When you get to about mid to later April, until about the beginning of June, that's when the gardens look beautiful. And that's when most sellers think it's the best time to sell. But the problem is every seller thinks that that's the best time to sell. So you've got a lot of homes coming on the market and a lot of choices for the buyers. Whereas prior to that peak time, you don't have as many sellers on the market. So there's less choices for the buyers, and the buyers will potentially buy something that may have a negative or pay more for it because there's just nothing else on the market. During the peak listing activity season, we have more choices for the buyer. Once we get into the beginning of June through to the end of July, there's not many homes coming on the market then compared to the rest of the year, compared to the rest of the spring/summer market. But those same buyers who wanted to move during summer and start the kids in the school system, unless they've bought by the end of July, they're probably going to miss out because most mortgages require about 4 weeks minimum to buy, to process the mortgage. So things slow down in August. Then you have the fall market. The fall market is a lot slower than the spring/summer market because most of the buyers, unless they actually live in the town, they typically don't want to move their kids out 3 weeks after they've just started school. So, and then you have November and December. People are thinking about Halloween, they're thinking about Thanksgiving, they're thinking about Christmas. It's starting to get colder. Not a great time to come on the market thing. Now, you might look at this graph and say, well, it's 2019. That was a long time ago. Yes, but 2020, 2021 and 2022 were the COVID years. And really any time was okay to sell then. But I thought what I'd do is I would show you how 2023 for Lexington follows a similar path to what we see in that, you know, you've got the peak listing activity in May. March is starting to pick up. A lot of agents have picked up that we bring homes on the market in March, and it's a really good time to sell, and they're following along. But anyway, that's okay. July and August are slow. September, October are less than in those other periods. Now, part of the component that I talked about before about understanding your timing to come on the market, relates to timing a buy and a sell. Because different scenarios mean different options. For instance, if you've got somewhere to move to already, we can bring your home on the market at the optimal time to maximize the sales price. Easy, good. You can move. You know, you can move at your leisure. You can. It makes it easy. Or you can buy without needing to sell. That means a mortgage company will give you a second mortgage without you having to sell your first mortgage for a period of time. But you'd prefer not to have two homes at the same time. That's a different story. You know, that is typically most people's desire. You need to sell in order to buy, and there are three methods with different pros and cons. Everyone's situation is different. We have an in-depth Sellers Masterclass which covers these three different scenarios, and we go into detail in them. We go into detail. I'm not going to do that today because I haven't got the time. You're wanting to see other stuff as well, but we already have a Sellers Masterclass called Timing a Buy and a Sell, and that's all it covers. Is the next. I'm going to show you the different slides of, you know, but I'm not going to discuss them or go through them, just show you that we have different scenarios, different pros and cons for each of these different ones. And then you can go into the Sellers Masterclass video library and look at the timing a buy and a sell to go into detail about each of them. Pricing strategy. So key to the pricing strategy, again, as mentioned, you need a detailed, accurate market analysis with a recommendation. But you decide the price for your home. It's not our decision. You own the home. It's your decision as to what price to come on the market at. We can explain the different strategies with both methods. There are two options basically. Oh, and the experience of your agent's key to explain those things to you. Two options are to realistically price or overprice and let someone negotiate you down. The recommendation is not to overprice, but again, it's your call. And to set a deadline for offers when the home first comes on the market and stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to it. God, that was stupid, wasn't it? Sorry. So let's talk, for instance, about the impact of the days on the market. So on here, we've got days on the market, the lower axis, and this is the sale price to the original list price ratio. So you can see 100% here. You will get the highest price for your home, and this is real data. You will get the highest price for your home in the first few days that your home's on the market. Basically, coming on the market on a Thursday, reviewing offers on a Tuesday, if you're in a seller's market. But if you're even in a buyer's market, if you price realistically, this is when you will get the highest price for your home. Because your trend line, the longer the home is on the market, the price goes down. Because the buyers basically, when a home first comes on the market, it's realistically priced, it's, ooh, we need to buy this home, we need to buy this home. But if a buyer's coming in to see the home a week after it's been on the market, yeah, okay, I really like this home. I'm going to go back and do some research and think about what price is right for that home. So they're taking their time, trying to sort of evaluate, you know, it's been on the market a week, 2 weeks. How much am I going to pay for this home? Or if the home's been on the market a month, the buyers come in, and even if a buyer loves the home, they're going to think to themselves, well, it's been on the market a month. Why hasn't anyone else bought it? What am I missing that everybody else is seeing? And they start questioning whether the home is a good price on, well, questioning whether whether the price is a good price, but questioning whether the home has flaws in it that they're not spotting and everyone else is. So it's really, really important to realistically price. But don't underprice, just realistically price, because it creates excitement. Remember, every buyer who's coming to see your home or sees your home come on the market, they've been going week after week after week to see homes in that price range in that town. So they know what the prices are. We know we're getting lots of activity if we see 40+ online views of the 3D tour on the first 2 days. If we see 40+ online views, we're typically seeing 20+ private showings of the home in the first 4 days. And if we're seeing 20+ private showings of the home, it tightly correlates with 2+ offers. So we know, and our sellers know, as the home is incrementing day by day on our first 4 days, we know the likelihood of getting an offer on the home on the Tuesday. But set an offer deadline and stick to it. Really important. If we have multiple offers on a home, well, for instance, if we've got over 5 offers, quite a few of those offers probably don't have an inspection contingency, which is a really good thing, because inspection contingencies are where buyer's remorse actually kicks in and the buyer can get out of the contract and using their inspection contingency. If we've got over 5 offers, we're seeing some of those offers that come in with no inspection contingency and no mortgage contingency. Now, it's not saying it's a cash offer. It's just saying that the buyer is not making their offer contingent on getting financing because they're strong, they feel confident of their financing. And that's a key thing too. If we have multiple offers, it often results in a price over the market value because buyers are competing with one another. If somebody else wants this home, no, I want it. They want what other people want. And, you know, if we get competing offers, you'll find 1, 2 more buyers will go way over market value to buy the home. The number of offers is important. If we get 2 offers on a home, yeah, sure, we might still get over the asking price. But if we get 10 offers on the home, we're going over the asking price. And it happens across all price ranges, even over $2 million. We'll give some examples in a minute. But when you look at it this way, how would you like to sell? Do you want to sell where you've got lots of people, they're not in a room, but you've got lots of people all wanting to buy your home? Or do you want to sell, you're just one person who's, yeah, I think maybe I'll make an offer. Let me think about it. Maybe I'll make an offer next week. Or they tell the agent, let me know if another offer comes in and I'll think about it. You know, it's this competing is absolutely the way you should want to sell. So an offer deadline. Sometimes buyers' agents will submit an offer earlier than the deadline. Even if we've specified in MLS that there's an offer deadline of Tuesday, some submit an offer beforehand because they're trying to scare the seller into accepting their offer before the deadline. Because the buyer doesn't want to compete with others and they want to get the home cheaper. I've heard a couple of times from agents saying, well, this buyer's interested in another house. So you really need to give it to the sellers because they're probably not going to be around on Tuesday because this other house is their second choice, but they're sort of interested in it as well. So if you don't take our offer now, they're probably going to go with the other. No, they're still there on Tuesday. But it's also that the terms and conditions won't be as advantageous as having multiple offers. As I mentioned, if we get up to 5 offers, probably a half of them don't have inspection contingencies. If there's 1 offer, it has an inspection contingency. If we get more than 5 offers, some of them don't have mortgage contingencies either. The 1 offer is not going to drop its mortgage contingency because it's only the 1 offer, and if you take it. So the terms and conditions aren't as good. But some listing agents encourage their sellers to take the offer. They don't need to do any more work on the home or any more open houses, but they absolutely haven't gotten the highest price or the best terms for their seller. We see this day in and day out. We have agents in our team who are frustrated because they went to see a home with their buyers. They were waiting until the Tuesday for offers, only to find out that a seller accepted an offer that their agent showed them, a day or 2 into the marketing time. And our agents are saying our buyers would have paid much more than that. Our buyers were talking about X number and they accepted this offer. Happens all the time. Anyway, overpricing. Bad news. It's bad. It's a bad move, bad news. The buyers know the value of your home. Remember, they're going to see house after house after house after house in your price range. So they know the value. They know the value. Rarely will they make an offer if your home's overpriced. If they do, yeah, they're looking for a deal and they'll come in with a lowball offer. Small price reductions do nothing. The buyers don't even notice the small reductions. If you're going to have to make an adjustment to the home, it needs to be a large reduction because that'll stimulate activity if that adjustment puts it into the realistic range. And we typically recommend doing that a week after coming on the market, because if we make an adjustment to the price very quickly, the home isn't stale yet. And if we make an adjustment to the price, we can create competition that following weekend, and it will often sell for over the asking price because we stimulated competition again. When you overprice, offers will always have a home inspection contingency. So, and when they do a home inspection, they're negotiating. They are absolutely negotiating on your home. And the buyer has the upper hand in negotiation in terms and conditions. So, but you might think, well, it's a seller's market now. I can come on the market at whatever price I want. This is something that we've heard in the last 3 or 4 years. It's a seller's market. I can come on the market whatever price I want because the buyers are going to pay it. But actually, when you look at this, this is data. This is the distribution of sales price in Lexington, 2022. Huge year for real estate because it's one of the COVID years. So this is the number of homes sold. Here's the sale price to original list price ratio. So here's 100%. 26% of the homes in this hugely buoyant market, 26% of the homes sold for less than the asking price. Sure, 74% sold for asking price or more. Yeah, sure. But what happened to this seller that got 74% for his home? I bet he was pretty disappointed. But there's an awful lot of sellers, 26% of them sold for less than the asking price in this buoyant market. So here's some examples. In this particular one, there was no staging done on the home. The home was vacant, no furniture, not a stick of furniture in it. And some agents will try and save money. They don't want to stage. But they'll send the images, the vacant room images, off to a company who virtually stage the home. Well, that's great. In MLS, it gets buyers in the door because they see these pretty pictures of furniture in the door. But as soon as they walk in the door, oh, that visceral feel is not there because there's no furniture. There's not a stick of furniture in the home. It's a huge, don't allow your agent to virtually stage. Anyway, beside that. But this home came on at $3,950, dropped its price, 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 and finally sold for $2,825 after coming on the market for $3,950, and it took 306 days to get there. That's a final sale price to list price ratio of 72%. That seller's pretty disappointed, pretty disheartened. Nobody wants their home. It's not a good way, not a good way to be. But also important, which a lot of folks don't recognize, is you need to factor in current competition. You know, you've got to factor in the homes that are under agreement, not just closed. So here's an example. This one at the top was my listing. We came on the market on 5/4 for $2,075. Great. Then a week later, this home came on the market for $2,190. Now, both of these homes are in very close proximity. They're around the corner from each other. They're the same size. They had the same number of beds and baths, and they were on the market a week apart. But mine came on the market for $2,075, and we had something like 5 or 8 offers on the home. I can't remember now. But we ended up selling for $2,410. Huge response to the home. Huge response. It was fantastic. Actually, it was 35 Saddle Club. I showed the website in another masterclass. Don't worry about that. Anyway, it came on the market for $2,075. A week later, this one, remember, close proximity, same size, same number of beds and baths, it came on for $2,190. So with 35 Saddle Club, there's only one buyer that knew that it sold for $2,410, and that's the buyer that bought it for $2,410. Everybody else had no idea. Everybody who came to see the home, everybody who put in an offer, had no idea what price the home sold for. All they know was that it was $2,075. So when this home came on at $2,190, it's overpriced already, because it's overpriced compared to one identical around the corner that was $2,075. So after 20 days, they didn't get any activity on it. After 20 days, they dropped it down to $1,999 and ended up selling it for $1,960. Now, that is a huge difference on homes that are identical, almost identical location, everything like this. These people got, the $1,960, those buyers got a great deal because something that was similar around the corner that competed was $2,410. What this home should have done was come on the market at $2,075 as well, and they would have gotten competition and taken it way over the asking price, because they knew that this one went under agreement within 5 days of being on the market. So they knew there was competition. So you've got to factor in the current competition. But here's another example of overpricing. Arlington is a huge market. Not many things sell for below asking price. But again, here's another one, no staging. It was all virtual. The buyers would have walked in the door and there's no visceral feel. But it came on at $1,249, and 50 days later, it sold for $1,115. So its final sale price to list price ratio was 90% in a very, very buoyant market in Arlington. So now the perennial question, is your home a teardown? This is a question that is always being asked around the towns in this area. So what is a teardown? A teardown is where the land value is greater than how much a home buyer would pay for the home. It's pretty straightforward. But who's telling you it's a teardown? We often hear that. Who's telling you it's a teardown? If it's a builder, we pay top dollar for your home. Well, why would they do this if there's no competition? They're not competing against anyone. They prefer no competition. So they're not paying top dollar for your home. But the one that throws a lot of people and they don't ask enough questions is when an agent tells them that their home is a teardown. Who is the agent working for in that regard? So what a lot of people don't understand is that when an agent connects a builder to a home seller and the builder buys the home off the home seller as an off-market sale, then the builder uses that same agent to sell the new construction. So it's better for the agent to get the commission on a $4 million sale, the new construction, rather than a $1 million sale. But it's not getting the highest price for the seller because there's very few homes where a builder will pay more than what a home buyer would. But so if an agent's telling you that your home's a teardown, pay close attention to it. If ask for a market analysis. Show me the data. Show me the data. It's really important. Here's an example. Okay, this was an off-market sale to a builder. This home was sold for $1,150 on 8/7. It was sold for $1,150 directly to a builder, and the resulting home came on the market for $4,300. Okay. Now the same street. This home came on the market less than 2 months later on 10/21. 13 builders competed for it. So it still sold to a builder, but 13 builders competed, not just one, 13 builders. And this home sold for $1,443. $1,443. A builder bought it for that price. And they bought a home on the market for $4,300. Same price as the other one. So you've got 24 blueberries sold off market to a builder for $1,150. 7 blueberry sold for $1,443. 500. 293,500 more selling it on MLS. Yes, the seller had to pay a fee, 5% fee, for bringing the home on the market, but that's minuscule compared to the amount the home sold more for than selling it directly to the builder just up the road. But here's some data. Here's a graph that shows what's happening year on year with teardowns. So the yellow is the number of teardowns that are sold off market. Okay, and this red line is the average sale price of those off-market teardowns. It's really not doing much it's not going up. And it's really not changed its price, well, probably since 2018. It went up a little bit in 2019. Actually, since 2016, it didn't do much, went up a little in 2019, but hasn't done much else since then. So about the same average. Now you look at what's happening with the builders, the average sale price of the new construction homes. Yeah, it's gone up. It went up a bit there. In 2020, it started going up higher and higher, and it's come down a little in 2023. But even though the average new construction price has gone up, it hasn't gone up for the tear downs, what the builders are paying off market. Now, I need to go back. What a lot of folks don't realize is that about 6 or 7 years ago, Lexington brought in what the floor area ratio legislation, planning board, that sort of stuff. What they were trying to prevent is, prior to that, a builder could build a big massive home on a small lot and just be within the setbacks. So you might have a home that was 5 feet from the side lot lines and 15 feet from the back lot line. Every area in town and every area around has different setbacks based on the location of the zone. But it could be that you have this massive house on a fairly small lot. So what they were trying to do with the floor area ratio is limit the size that builders could build on a lot to a certain floor area ratio. So it was limiting the size that a builder could build. Okay. Now, that happened probably 6 or 7 years ago. So you see what the price is that's, even though the builders were limited, the prices didn't really do much. In January 2024, there was legislation passed again that is limiting how big the builders can build, even more than what came in 6 or 7 years ago. In fact, a builder that we were talking to a few days ago mentioned that it changes based on the size of the lot, but in some lots, it's limiting the size they can build by, it's reducing it by about 30%. I think I'd anticipate that the tear down prices will reduce because the builders can't build as large a home as they could in the past. So it's a wait and see. Let's see what's going to happen, but that's a bit of a concern for anyone that's banking on selling their home as a tear down, because it may not be as profitable as you think it is, because the builders may not be, well, you can sort of see they're not really increasing their prices anyway. But that's another topic. So look, a summary. Understand the market conditions. Expect an analytical market analysis. Understand and capitalize on seasonality. Price realistically. If we can get competition for you, your home will sell for over its market value. Set a deadline and wait for it. Don't sell it prior to the deadline expiring. And rarely will a builder pay more for your home than a home buyer. Ask lots and lots and lots and lots of questions and get second and third and fourth opinions if you are told a builder will pay top dollar for the home. Don't just, because they won't. It's very rare. Maybe 5% of the time a builder will pay more for a home, because it depends on the location, specifically the location and the size of the lot. But a home buyer will pay more. And if you're worried about the fact that your home, this is digressing, if you're worried about the fact that your home needs work and a builder's the only one who would buy it, talk to us about preparation, because we can pay for the work to be done and then get reimbursed at closing. But that's a preparation seller's masterclass. So more information. Selling Essentials video series, over 100+ videos on all sorts of topics related to selling. Seller's Masterclass video series, market updates video series. I showed you where you can find all of those, and they're all on our website, maproperties.com. Or if you want more info, email me or call the office at 844-962-7767. And I'm sorry it took so long, but there's so much to tell you. There's so much to explain. So thank you for joining me, and I hope, please reach out if you've got any questions at all. I'd love to help, and so would the rest of our team. And, you know, information is key. Education is so important. It's one of our key core values. So, and integrity and ethical behavior is one of the others as well. So, thank you so much. Talk to you later.